I made 4 sales in the last 2 hours, which means, of course, that I am stonking rich and can go home already. Hi, and welcome to another convention vlog. This is going to be a bit of a long one, and it's split into 3 parts. So grab a drink, grab a coffee, grab a snack, and you're in for a wild ride. We are getting ready for Gamescom, and the entire process will be in this video. So all of the preparations, we're going to make some new displays, we're going to pack, we're going to look at some new branding material. Then we're going to go to the convention. It is a 5-day convention, and I will be so tired after it. And finally, we're gonna get back home and talk about, was it worth it, how did I feel, and would I do it again? Enjoy. Good morning. It is Saturday, August 16th. It is 10:17 a.m. and I'm already tired. It is the weekend and I am in the studio on the weekend, as you can see, because we are getting ready for a very exciting convention. It is an event I haven't been to yet. It is Gamescom in Cologne, which is the biggest and longest artist alley I will be doing this year, and also one of the most expensive, since they only have these kind of semi-dealer artist alley tables. They are 3 by 2 meters, but it's just one row. I didn't get a corner. So I have 3 meters of sellable space, and I need to pack as much as I can into a regular car because we are not renting a van for this event because we don't have the helpers who could like drive and do the shifts and things. So not a lot of inventory space to bring, but a lot of visitors. It is a massive event. I think it's the event with the most individual attendees, although most of them are here for like gaming and events. It's like E3 used to be. I think I'm not super big in the gaming scene, but I have some cute goodies for it. So let me show you those. This is probably the heaviest item I need to bring. It is my gaming desk mats. I've showed them off in the previous vlog, both the design process and them arriving. They come in these like drawstring bags, and I designed the label for them. There's the samurai armor design. There's a second design that is like a dragon temple illustration. And the third one is more bright, yellowy with like Japanese food. I had them with me at Annie Night last week, which was very successful, better than I thought they'd go. So I don't have too many left, which is great because I cannot bring that many, and they are really, really heavy. It is also the biggest item that I'm bringing with me setup-wise because they are 40 by 80 centimeters, which is like this big, filling out the entire visible screen of the camera. But yeah, I'm hoping to get rid of most of them because they are taking up some of the boxes on the floor, and I need to, if I don't sell them here, they'll probably be sold out at Konichi, which is 2 weeks afterwards. Then I have a bit of a convention break so I can reorder and get more stock. These are all socks. I'm hoping to get rid of socks. What I'm not bringing a lot of is my onigiri eater bags and my dress shirts. I'm not bringing any shirts at all. I just have space at the booth, and I don't have enough people so that I have somebody who can help people with like trying sizes and stuff and keeping an overview since it's such a busy event. So I'm downsizing on that. I'm downsizing on bags just because they don't fit in the car. I'm bringing some of the fish bags, maybe like 5 to 10 onigiri bags, because I'm sure they'll sell out. That's the last thing I'm going to put in the car. I am bringing pretty much my remaining stock of the passport covers. These did really, really well at Annie Night, but I'm not sure how often I'm going to reorder them because this is the type of product that people buy one of. So there's a few things in the artist alley that people buy more and more of, like you can never have enough enamel pins, of course. Socks, I just found these. This was the first ever sock design I ever made, with like the wave pattern and the kitsune mask. I'm gonna bring something similar to these back soon, hopefully maybe in like a box set with 3 different yokai, but like that's the style I'm going for. And yeah, these have been sold out for years, and I found two pairs that I'm keeping for myself for pure nostalgic reasons. But yeah, I'm bringing socks. People buy socks more often. People will buy stickers regularly. But I feel like for passport cover, as soon as you have one design, you're like, oh, I already have one, I don't need another, unless it's like super, super cool. So I'm not gonna like design a whole range of like 10 different passport covers because I feel like people will only buy one anyways. Sorry, I caught a bit of a cold at Annie Night. It was air conditioned to hell. If you saw my last vlog, which hopefully has been edited by the time I get to editing this one, I am way behind. That is something that I'm working on. Yeah, let me show you quickly the progress we've made so far. One moment. As you can see, I have these yellow Stanley boxes. These I'm not bringing with me. This is the entire pile of things I'm bringing. They're not all my pins. I don't have quite that much stock, but I kind of like the system I have going for me right now. So let's open these up. We have here, this is just the organizational one. We have my thank you cards, which have like a, let me cover it up, a promo code on the back for when you buy something, you get like a discount code from my online store. Some of my regular business cards, clips, magnets, hang tags. This is to remove the pin backings, some spare pin backings in case somebody loses some, sugar, some antihistamines and like pain meds, and then various forms of pens. Wait, what is standing out? What? Oh. Huh? Oh, this needs to. I cannot. Now I can close you again. But all of the others underneath here are pin related. And I'll get one out for you to show you. These trays are so heavy, I can barely lift this one, and it's 5 boxes. This one's also 5 boxes. This is the stock of like the passport covers I'm bringing. But over here we have, this is, you can screenshot this if you want to get them. I got them on Amazon, they're very sturdy. This is my new setup for pins for bigger events so that it's a bit easier to pack. We have the pins in baggies in the center, the way they come from a manufacturer. We have the theme-specific backing cards. These are new. I'll talk about them in a second. I have 3 of each pin on the side here already packed, so they're easy to put on my display in the front, and I don't need to spend a lot of time sorting them or looking for them. This saves me so much trouble to just have one of each just ready. Then we have the mystery bags empty. And if the ones that I have, well, then we have the mystery bags filled as well. I have 10 of each filled to put in the boxes, and if these run out, I can just use some of these and put them back in there. And this is the same all the way down. I have one filled just with regular pin designs, and the others are all the series I have that come with like the backing card and the mystery bag, so it's all in a set. Then with the passport covers, I'm bringing 30 of these. That's all I have left, and I hope to get rid of some of my pin stock by doing so. I've been kind of reducing those up there are all empty, some of these are empty as well, because I have a lot of pins that I'm discontinuing because I've just been carrying them around for such a long time. I have like 160 pin designs that I've created, and like 150 of them are still in stock in there. Some of them like very, very low quantities, and my goal this year is just to be like very ruthless and say most of these need to go, and I need to make room for new and more interesting and more unique designs, or just like tweak some things. So I have been emptying them out and putting them in these boxes. These boxes look like this. You've seen them at other conventions. It's 8 compartments. They are not as sturdy as the Stanley boxes, which is why I don't love bringing them. They kind of open on their own, they wobble, but for just keeping them in my studio, it's great. So I have all of the Pride Dango, which took up this entire upper row in one box, the Metamorkid collaboration pins, and my Halloween collection from 3 years ago, now all fit into one box. They were in these smaller yellow ones before. And a few other ones, like the Lucky Cats and Kitsune pins, are in one box. And it takes me a little bit longer to get them out. It's not as easy as just, grabbing one of the Pride collar pins, for example. But if I only have such a small handful left and they don't sell as quickly, I am much more happy keep condensing the space and making room for new pin designs and kind of restructuring. Because as you can see, my studio is still quite a mess. It's better than it used to be. I am slowly getting there. There's stuff on the floor, but most of it is just empty bags that I've been clearing out for the next convention, and the stuff I need to move around. This entire pile of shame back here, aside from the box I just pointed at, all of the other boxes are my Ramen Shiba figurine, which I realize now I ordered too many of. I still have so many in stock, and they're quite a slow moving item, but I guess that's fine. Not everything can be like a super fast seller, so I'm not bringing any of those to the convention either. But what I did at the last few cons, which I might continue doing, is using them as kind of like a freebie reward if you spend over a certain amount. At at Dokumi it was 150, at Anin I did 100 euros because I'm local and I can bring more figurines. And people really responded well to that, so I might be continuing that. Now, what is the game plan for today? I'm sorry for the terrible lighting in here. I'll fix that one day when I do like a full overhaul. I feel like I've been mentioning in every single vlog that I want to do a full overhaul of the studio because it's such a mess, but I just haven't gotten around to it. What I need to do today is tidy up here. I need to clear out the entrance area because I've been alone in this entire like space for the past few weeks and stuff has been accumulating in the entryway, but everybody else is coming back, so I need to these boxes are all empty. I just need to cut them all up. I have a lovely cardboard cutter which I will be using in a second. That is a lot of fun. So I need to clear up here, I need to clear up in here, then I need to pack, so I have like the wow, I cannot speak anymore. It's been a day and it's only 10 a.m. I need to pack the gaming desk mats because, of course, Gamescom is a gaming event, so I need to bring enough of those. I need to figure out which sock designs I'm bringing with me and which I'm leaving at home. This is something I only kind of recently started doing, which is to not bring my entire sock collection, which is, of course, what you can see here. It's all of these rows filled all the way up with different designs. I need to actually count how many it is. But since I don't have that much space, I only want to bring the best sellers, but then bring enough of the best sellers for it to be worth it and not kind of worry about having like 5 to 10 of each design, which don't usually go well and then take up visual space and kind of people walk by because they don't like those, but they would like the really, really popular ones. So that's what I'm doing for like the smaller events. For the big events where I have the big 12 square meter tables like Konichi, I am bringing the full stock. My table setup therefore has been looking a bit different. I need to plop you down again somewhere. Let's put you back over here. This is a good spot for you. Yeah, my table setup has been a little bit different at each event lately. It has been looking very cohesive, but the stock I bring is different because some are original art only in the artist alley, some I'm in the dealer area, which of course is also original art only. Some I'm bringing more like fabric-based stuff. Some have rules where I need to bring more prints, so I'm bringing some of my like old school print designs. And then some I just don't have the space to bring everything. So I'm kind of experimenting with that, which has been interesting as well. So yeah, step 1, tidying up. Step 2, packing the convention stock that I need. I was in the process of filling up the last of these boxes. This one houses all of my embroidered keychains, which you have been loving. They usually go really well as a set with the eater bag, so I'm excited to see or interested to see if they do well as well on their own without having like a bag to display them on. Then I need to figure out a few more display things and make some adjustments. I brought, very satisfying, 2 different acrylic spray paints, one in traffic red and one in pure white, because I've been thinking of spray painting the wooden displays that I have over here. These are still wrapped. It's the tiered pin displays where I can put 3 of each pins back to back, so it's easier for people to do self-serve and to grab, but they are wood and the shade of wood isn't my favorite, and I feel like I need to kind of paint them white to make them like pop more and look cool on my table. The same goes for these. These are the tiered displays that are currently also falling apart for my prints, and I'm not bringing a lot of prints, but I am bringing some prints, so these will come in handy. So I'm gonna spray paint these and these probably white. I bought the red because it does match my setup quite well, but I feel like it would be too much. I don't want it to be kind of like drown out. I want them to pop. And since I bought the red originally because my pin backing cards were these white gold foil pins, and I am keeping these for the non-series pins, but the pins I have that come in sets, I made these collection sets. So I have the mystery bags. I had them in the past. I don't have any on my desk right now to show you, but you saw them in the boxes I opened up earlier. I have those. that come for the gacha, but for the regular pins to sell, I just had them on the white cards. And what I realized when my display is super, super full of pins, and I have like 100 pins there, and they're all on these white cards, people are overwhelmed and they don't know where to look and they kind of leave. So what I thought of doing is to kind of group them in pins of like 10 that each have a different card. I'm not doing a different card for each pin. That's again crazy to keep in stock and also just kind of visually very overwhelming. Instead, I'm doing collection cards so that people know if they like bubble tea, these are all the purple ones, and if they see one they don't like, if they're not into bubble tea, they can just kind of look at the next thing without leaving altogether. And I have all of the sets with me, and then on the back of the pin I have the rest of the collection so that people kind of have this gacha collection aspect without needing to get the blind bag. So if they like this pin and they keep the backing card, they know there's more to the collection that they can get at like a future event. These are the other cards. They all have the same logo I created for the series. So we have like the Matcha Mystery Volume 1 and Volume 2 in the gradients, the Animal Circus, and then the Hanafuda stamps, and of course the Boba Bliss that I just showed you. And they all have the same kind of like textures and overlays that I used for the bags without the gold foil on the bags because I rush ordered these so I'd have them. If I do them again, I might tweak some things visually. The logo is, for example, too far down, and to just push it up a little bit, and I might do like spot UV or foil to make them look more special. But yeah, I have these, they arrived, I'm super happy. They are these uncoated paper, which has this nice sound to it, but they do look very different to these, which are coated, shiny, and with gold foil. People love the gold foil aspect, but I feel like these are more visually cohesive. If I order enough of the colorful, like the series ones, the price for foil is also a lot cheaper. I only ordered like 100 of each this time to try it out. And if that works, I will continue doing that. I've noticed it worked really well in the past for the Metamorkid collab pins, which have the same kind of like... Here, the circle was more inspired by like the spotlight photo that they had at the premiere event, and it has the other designs on the back. So yeah, now I have a whole set of these collection cards. This is the cardboard cutter that I was talking about earlier. This one has like a rotary blade and you can slide it through. There are other models which are more like scissor-like, which I actually prefer. I had one, then I gifted it to a friend, to Neophobica, who will be next to me at Gamescom. You'll see a bunch of their stuff, but you can just take a box and just put it in the corners, and it just slides right through, and that's where you can quickly and easily flatten these boxes. I mean, this is a small box, so I could just flatten it like this, but for the bigger boxes, for something like this, it has been amazing. Also for like my bigger inventory orders, which are coated in like a tape to protect them from the long journeys. Those are very hard to cut through. So I have been having so much fun just taking a box and going wee. And it's so much faster because I feel like this was one of the things as a creator or as somebody who manages some... I should talk and then cut and talk and then cut so I can make it quieter in the edit. It can even cut through like the metal pins that were in here to secure the box without a problem. But yeah, I noticed before I had this that taking out empty boxes to the paper trash was one of the tasks that I avoided so much. I never could motivate myself to do it because it just took so long. I had to use like a Stanley knife, it felt, which is something that I realized I was avoiding. So I was like, there has to be a better option. Then I found these just on Amazon, and I was like, oh wow, this saves so much time. It makes the strain on my wrist from cutting boxes so much better. So now that is what I have, which is a great tip if you have like things that you really don't like doing. See if there's any way to make it more easy, less stressful, less painful, to kind of make the process smoother, and then you might actually stop procrastinate doing it. Now I just need to motivate myself to tidy up, because that is something that I still have not found a better system for. Look at how much better that already is. All of the boxes that are here are gone, and it's just these two boxes that are filled with stuff, and these fit into the paper trash I have here. I'm only keeping the really, really big box intact for now because I'm going to use it as kind of like the surface to spray paint the wooden things I talked about earlier so that the floor doesn't get dirty. I luckily thought of that before I started cutting it up because I was like, oh, I need something to do that. So I'm going to take out the trash, tidy up some more, and get back to it. I guess this is one of those do as I say, not as I do situations. The spray paint round one worked really, really well. The color looks like it needs like maybe 1.5 coats to be like fully opaque, although I quite like the little bit of wood grain that you can see with the white. So that's perfect. I just need to let them dry and then flip them around to do the other side. But I couldn't find my gloves for it, so I had to use them. Well, I didn't stain anything, and I was far enough away and the area was well ventilated, but still I should get a respirator mask if I do this again or more often. So yeah, but it's been going well. Progress. Look at this view. Good morning. It is almost 11 a.m. It is soon checkout time in this lovely Airbnb that we're staying at. We finished packing up everything for Gamescom yesterday, and 2 days ago. And yesterday we had our long drive from 7 something a.m. until 7 p.m. basically. There was a highway closure and things got complicated, but we did decide to have this lovely Airbnb with this huge terrace and a barbecue and a whirlpool and a little sauna, and also very spacious inside for one night. And we shared it with Neophobica, who already departed, so because she had an earlier setup slot. I'm wearing my Tokyo Game Show t-shirt from 2 years ago when we went there spontaneously. I think it's fitting for the Gamescom theme, and we are getting ready to set up very, very soon. The setup here is super complicated. I'm not quite sure how to do it fully properly because you need to book like e-slots for 2 hours to drive in, but then we also have a parking ticket for the event duration, but that ticket, depending on which form you look at, isn't valid during setup days, or it is a mess. But I did book one of these like e-slots to set up. It's exactly 2 hours and mine is at 1 p.m, so we need to leave in around half an hour to get there and then to unload and then to move our car somewhere else. I just got a picture from Neophobica, who was there setting up already, that the table situation is a mess. Instead of, because we knew we had 3 meters per booth and we have 3 tables, and we just assumed they're the same size so that we can kind of navigate somehow. They are not. We have 2 60 by a meter 20 tables and 1 80 by a meter 20 table. So you could technically fill up the entire space, but then there's no way of getting in and out, and the depth is different, so it's really hard to put a tablecloth on top of that. It's going to be super, super messy. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm guessing I need to clamp it at the back, but if there's other tables that are directly on the sides of my booth, I can't really clamp anything on the sides to keep it stable. I need to figure out how to not have everything slip around and be a mess. I brought enough grids to set up, I believe, but it is a bit of a learning curve to try to figure out how to do so. It's also a really big event, so I got like a weird guideline and a map how to get to the designated parking spot so that I can set up properly for our exhibit hall. But it should be all doable. I think we don't need to worry too much about that. I was just enjoying morning, having some tea, lounging on the available surfaces. As you can see, I look like I'm still waking up, but that is, I think, a good start, a good rest and recharge. The barbecue yesterday was lovely as well, because we do have 5 full convention days coming up. Days set up and then 5 full days. So we're here way longer than I am for any other event, but I'm guessing it should be fine. Wish me luck. Good morning from day one. It is 10:40 a.m. The event opened at 9, but as you can see, if I do a quick turnaround, the hall is predominantly empty because the first day of this event is the industry only event, at least until 2 p.m., which means everybody who is here is either a press person or an industry insider. And I mean, there are families and kids and stuff, because you can always kind of get the pass and not use it for the industry reasons, but the people who are here are really here to shop. I have everything set up behind me in my little closed off area, and the booth is all set up in front of me, so it's going decently. I made 4 sales in the last 2 hours, which means, of course, that I am stonking rich and can go home already, or at least that's what I would hope. But yeah, it's been totally fine. I'm kind of happy that this is kind of like a closed off space, so I can store all of the bags behind my booth and it doesn't get too crowded. And I'm going to quickly show you what it looks like on the other side. So this is my view for the next 5 days. It's a 5-day convention. We have this resin Pokemon art, I don't know them, opposite me, and then we have Nave with their lovely small detailed art. Bonbon Shop is next to me, Carrie Neophobica on one side, Mia Moose and Muna on the other. And Neophobica, Mia Moose, Muna and Bonbon Shop, we're all in a stamp rally together. This is said stamp rally. We have the map, you can see this big row of all of our artists, wait, this way around, and then our stamps on the one side. And then we have a nice little flyer showing off all of the goodies you can get. It is an extensive goodie bag. The lanyard I have is designed by Neophobica. It's one of the prizes. I designed the patch, there's a pin, there's 2 keychains. So really a lot of goodies. Let's see how well that goes. It is now 2:20. I have my first break. The artist alley is slowly picking up. There's a few more people here. Sales are slowly starting, but it is definitely a lot slower than other big events. But it's also Wednesday, and because it's the first convention I've ever done which even had a Wednesday, so I cannot complain. In my mind, today is kind of pocket change. Anything I make today is extra, and the real convention days properly start tomorrow with all of the regular visitors. Some artists really built towers and fortresses. I don't have quite as big a booth this time, but it is going quite well regardless. Some people have absolutely massive setups with like huge prints and foil prints. Nigel, of course, with his massive, huge banners as well. It is so cool to see all of the artists here. So this is the overall layout. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of the artist alley. I'm in the first of the major rows. This one is super packed as well. Then there's a few other artists you don't usually see at conventions as well, like Pahim Studios. I haven't seen them at like most of the European cons. And then of course our row is getting quite busy as well. I can see there's people standing on my booth. Next to the regular artist alley and the dealers, there is the cosplay village, which this time is really, really cool in the sense that they have just a bunch of setups and really, really cool props and booths, but also like photo studio sessions. Sorry. So you can very easily easily show off your booth in a cool way. Behind me is the cosplay stage. It's super loud, but then there's also these Cryolon sponsored makeup booths where you can get like effects makeup and stuff done. And it's like a really nice event. I've never been to Gamescom, I must say. I usually do all of the Comic-Con and anime conventions. And here, most of the booth is dedicated to like publishers trying to show off their projects in the coolest way possible and less about like panels or selling stuff. So they have more space at their booth to have like really, really cool setups and displays. There's really like a lot of Fallout stuff. I'm guessing because it's sponsored by Prime here at this event. Yeah, I got some Knabe Cola. They were handing these out. Not sure where this is from, what IP, but I'm gonna use my break wisely, have a sip, and then head back to my booth. As you can see, the expo hall is absolutely massive. There's 5 or 6 of these big halls filled just with exhibits. There's different big publishers, but also smaller publishers. This entire indie hall that I didn't really film because it was also a lot tighter, but there were a lot of cool games I tried over there as well. But I mainly just looked around because the queues were really quite extensive to get into the different places, and the games weren't something that I had on my radar. I was just so focused on doing the item study part of it that I didn't walk around too much, although my partner and friends had more fun exploring. There was really quite a lot of goodies to get as well. There was friends who got back with huge, huge bags of merch, and I'm kind of impressed how dedicated they were to finding goodies and finding things they could do. I really, really like these massive setups and got inspired as well for like smaller things that I could downscale and take with me to do at future artist rallies, and I can't wait to see how that turns out. Hello from day 2. It is already 6 p.m, but this is my first proper break of the day. So I thought I'd do a little catch up with you on day 2 of 5. My energy levels are currently great. They were medium good to pretty bad during the day, but it is now clearing out. I'll add some clips to the screen where you can see how crazy full it was the past few days and past few hours actually. It was so bad that most hallways were only one way, and they had this really, really complicated floor management, how to get anywhere, and you couldn't really walk in any of the halls. Even the dealer booth, which is like the least interesting hall, which is the one I'm entering now, was full, and it is still, I would say, decently packed for a Thursday. We still have Friday to go and then the weekend. I expect Thursday and Friday. Oh no, there's a blind box figurine store. I am very susceptible to blind boxes and figurines. I'll have a look after I finished with this update. I didn't walk through the dealer booth area before, so this is all new to me. But yeah, I expect Thursday and Friday to be the busiest days and then the weekend to be a bit slower, although I'm not sure how to properly quantify that since I am already selling out of some of the stuff that I brought. I really should have come in a van. The most popular pin designs are out. Some of the sock designs are low. Onigiri bags are sold out. The fish bags, I am very low stock, so those will probably be gone today or tomorrow. And then socks in general, I think I have enough. Passport covers will also sell out soon. So yeah, that is scary. Oh, this is cute. I don't know what this is. This is Mood Rush, and they do like food-themed stuffed animals and keychains, and they're playing way too loud music. But this is very cute. It's the vibe I'm going for. I've also realized that the sales have been going particularly well for items I showed off in a recent TikTok video that went sort of semi-viral, and people came and were like, they were sent to get this, or their friends gave them a budget, like a significant budget of like €100 to spend on the things they saw in the video. So that was good as well. I'll be trying to do more content during the convention if I get to it, if the hallways allow me to film absolutely anything aside from this vlog that I'm doing now. I think that's enough of a check-in. I will have a look through the dealer hall, which you can kind of see behind me, or floor 2 of the dealer hall, I would say. We are in 5-1 downstairs. This is 5-2, since it is a 2-story expo hall. The entire floor plan here is very confusing. But yeah, this is your generic dealer hall, quote unquote, and downstairs is the artist alley, the cosplay stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look, then I'm gonna get back to work. See you in a bit. Good morning from day 5 of Gamescom. It is Sunday, it is exactly 10 a.m. and people are slowly entering. I am, as you can see, behind my booth. I didn't vlog the last few days because not much happened. As you can see, I am pretty dead. Yesterday in this convention hall there was a cosplay party after the event, and they didn't check wristbands, or the security just didn't really care. So there was alcohol and partying. I mean, it was an official party, but like there should have been like checks on who can come in. And it was just in the same hall as the artist alley, so people were just walking around all night. And so much stuff was stolen. We were in the artist Discord chatting in the morning. An art book was stolen, socks were stolen. Somebody stole some stuff from my booth as well. And it's just really frustrating when a convention doesn't do what they're supposed to, which is have security or lock off the hall, that people don't do this after hours. But yeah, we have one more day to go. It's been super long. We are running low on a lot of items. The bags are all sold out, so we have no eater bags, we have no fish bags. We have one lonely luggage tag left, no passport covers, but we still have plenty of socks and pins, so I hope that this day will be good. It's also a really long Sunday. Normally the Sunday is shorter so that you have time to tear down, but the Sunday is until 8 as well today, so we will be here for a while before we can fully relax and recharge before the next few events. Somebody from Knabe Cola was so nice to bring some drinks, so I have sustenance, and my partner, who's currently playing Magic or going around, has on his break brought me some bubble tea as well, so I'm thriving. Okay, I see customers coming. I should probably get back to work. And we're back in Austria. Gamescom is behind us. All 5 days were survived, even though we stayed in Düsseldorf, which is next to Cologne. So we had to go back and forth every single day, which added to how tired I was at the end of it. Would I do this convention again, and was it a success? Yes, and kind of. Sales were lower than I expected them to be, even though, I mean, I didn't bring a lot of the higher price ticket items like enough onigiri bags or the shirts. So if I were to do this again, I would get a bigger car and really maximize the amount of profit I can make within the 5 days, just because it is quite a tiring convention. Luckily, I could stay with friends, which means I didn't have to pay too much for a hotel, because those prices also get really crazy in Cologne. Sales comfortably hit the 5-figure mark, which is what the goal was, but for the cost of the booth and how excited it was, I feel like it wasn't close enough to my income at conventions like Leipzig Book Fair or Dokumi, where I do a lot better, but it is also more of an anime or Japan focused crowd, and here it was a very general crowd, so hard to predict what would go well. And also things went well that normally don't. I sold way more pins than I did socks, which I guess the sock type is slowly but surely dying, so there's that. I just need to prepare better for it next time. Some of the pin designs also sold out, so I could have probably made a little bit more money that way. I didn't bring prints, and I'm unsure if prints would have done better, but the space is just so small compared to other booths I've had that I just had to prioritize and leave things at home. I also didn't have any stickers, so most of my items were like the 10 to 15 euro range. That's kind of like the sweet spot, and I didn't really have much below or much above that. So to reach high sales numbers, I just had to sell a lot of that compared to like a 75 euro eater bag where I don't need to sell that many to hit my target. Yeah, that is my feeling. The convention was very well organized. All of the information in advance worked, but I mean, that's what you're getting for that price, I assume. Since getting to Gamescom, I also went to Konichi, which was a fun convention, but I was just so tired that I did not vlog, and I need to catch up on editing these anyway. So next week, you're gonna have more of a week in the life process video. I hope you stick around, subscribe for more, and if you haven't followed me on other social media yet, do that as well. Bye-bye.